Hey, I'm Mark. I'm a history teacher and I'm going rogue. March is here. March Madness coming soon. I'm here to give you a leg up on against your friends at your office pool. Giving you a heads up on your NCAA brackets through the use of history. Let's go. Last time, we drilled down through each round with each seed, finding out how many of each seed has made their way through the NCAA tournament. From that, we concluded that it is not unlikely that one 14 seed will win in the first round, or that it is not unlikely to see two 13 or two 12 seeds win. In fact, it's not unlikely to see a 13 and a couple of 12s make it to the Sweet 16. Now, let's try to determine which ones. Let's see what happened in the past to help predict the future. Three most important words in real estate: location, location, location. Could that also be true of the NCAA tournament? Well, this time, let's look at where the games are played and see if that gives a team, a lower seeded dog, some sort of advantage. So the NCAA chooses 8 cities to host the first and second round sub-regionals. Those cities will host 4 first-round games, and the winners of those will play in 2 second-round games. About every 5th year, they come back to Boise. Hey, that's where 15-seed Hampton beat number 2 seed Iowa State in 2001. Boise is good to the dogs, the lower seeds. The 4 times that Boise has hosted in the last 20 years, the dogs have won 6 out of 16 first-round games. In the entire scheme of things, that's pretty good. Unfortunately, those same dogs are 0-8 in the second round. Other cities that are good to the dogs? How about San Jose? They've hosted 3 sub-regionals, and dogs have won 7 out of 12 games in the first round, and 3 of 6 in the second round. That's crazy. Louisville's hosted the sub-regionals twice, with dogs winning 4 of 8 first-round games, and 1 of 4 second-round games. In Kansas City, first-round dogs won 5 of 16 games. And in Des Moines, first-round dogs won 3 of 8 games. We'll also say this: if you're a dog, stay away from Anaheim. In 2 sub-regionals, the only dog to win was a 9 seed over an 8. In a first-round game, hardly an upset. And they probably got bounced in the second round. Same in Lexington. In 2 sub-regionals, the only winning dog in the first round was an 8, and then they got beat in the weekend game. In Milwaukee, dogs have fared a little bit better. In 4 sub-regionals are 2 and 16. 1 and 8 in the second round. Pittsburgh, man, hosted 4 times, and the dogs are 1 and 16 in the first round. In the second round, they're 1 for 8. How about by state? If you're a dog, you want to be in Florida. Between first-round games in Jacksonville, Orlando, Tampa, and Miami, the lower seeds are 14 and 34. In California, the dogs are 13 and 35 in first-round games. Well, outside of Anaheim, where the dogs are 12 and 24. Florida's good to second-round dogs as well. Lower seeds go 6 and 18. In Texas second-round games, the dogs are 3 and 9. You don't want to go to North Carolina if you're a lower seed. Charlotte, Greensboro, Raleigh, and Winston-Salem have hosted 78 games between them. And in spite of UMBC's win over Virginia in Greensboro in 2018, first-round dogs are 11 and 45. Second-round dogs are just 3 and 25. In the second weekend of the tournament, games move to the regionals, the Sweet 16 and the regional finals, in one city. The worst region for the dogs? The Midwest, where lower-seeded teams are 13 and 41 over the last 20 years. The worst city for the dogs in the Midwest? Well, dogs are 1 and 5 playing in Chicago and Detroit. They're 0 and 3 playing in Cleveland, Madison, and Omaha. Best city for dogs in the Midwest? Well, they're 3 and 3 when playing in Kansas City and in Minneapolis. The dogs fare a little bit better in the South, where they're 21 and 42. They're 0 and 9 in Houston and 1 and 8 in Memphis. You've got even chances in Atlanta, where the dogs are 6 and 6. Best city for the lower seeds in the South? Keep Austin weird, man. The dogs are 5 and 1. How about out west? Well, in the Sweet 16 of the Elite 8, lower seeds are 24 and 36. Stay away from LA, though. That's where the Dogs are 1-5. In Phoenix, they're 5-7. They're 8-10 in Anaheim. The Dogs tend to win at the Pit in Albuquerque, though, going 4-2. But Albuquerque hasn't hosted in a while. Lower seeds do the best in the East, where they're 27-33 in the Sweet 16 and regional finals. Worst city for the Dogs in the East? Philadelphia. They're 1-5. The best host for lower seeds? In Washington, D.C., they're 6-3. And in New York City area, they're 9-6. Who knew New York City was such a great host? And the Final Four. Over the past 20 years, 10 cities have hosted Final Fours. Indianapolis has hosted them 4 times. And they have not been good to the Dogs. The Dogs are 0-6 in the semifinal and 1-3 in the national championship, with a 3 beating a 2. I'm not taking into consideration where the teams are evenly seeded, as happens in the Final Four. Atlanta's hosted 3 finals, with the Dogs going 1-3 in the semis and 0-2 in the championship. The 2 times that Minneapolis has hosted, Dogs are 2-2 in the semis and 0-2 in the championship. If you're a Dog, you want to play a final in the state of Texas. Texas again! Get along, little doggy! In Final Fours played in San Antonio, Houston, and Arlington, Dogs are 3-5 in the semis and 1-3 in the finals. In Arlington in 2014, we had an 8 seed win over a 2 and a 7 seed win over 1 in the semis, setting up the final with the highest combined seeds in tournament history. So, if we know that, historically, 2 13 seeds and 2 or 3 12 seeds are likely to win every year, and we know that the lower seeded Dogs do better in Boise or San Jose or Florida, you might want to take the 13 seeds playing there instead of those playing in Charlotte or Houston. Just a thought. A little more ammo for you as you pick your brackets. Unfortunately, all this is irrelevant this year, with all the games being played in Indianapolis. Hey, thanks for coming by. I hope you had fun. I hope you learned something. If I did it right, you did both. Be looking for video number 3 in this series. In a few days, we start looking at some underachieving teams and underachieving conferences. Who can we pick on? And some historically overachieving Dogs. And who you don't want to see in your region. Through the lens of history. So next time you're standing next to an open flame, prepared to burn your brackets, remember, you should have listened to me. I'm Mark Haggard. I'm a history teacher. And I've gone rogue.